Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about first housekeeping. Then we're going to break out into some breakout rooms and do a quick brainstorm about campaigns. Or then be talking about campaigns in general and then going through all of the campaigns for the rest of the semester, including April. And then finally, we'll be discussing press and political campaigning. Okay, so please could you all add your Mara groups next to your name? I think that's all the housekeeping there is. And yeah, and if you want, you can also pop in the chat what role you do on your committee and whether or not you're a volunteer or whether you're on committee as well. I'm just curious. But yeah, so we're going to go straight into breakout rooms. So we're going to discuss in groups. We've got someone who said they're social media secretary for Newcastle, and that's Sarah. Nice to meet you. And Josh here is president of Aberystwyth, Maro. Okay, so in the breakout rooms, we're going to discuss what ideas do you have for the campaigns coming up in semester 2, and what would you like to get out of this current session, and hopefully we can accommodate you all with your requests. So we'll just need, I think we need about 2 minutes to put you all in breakout rooms. Well, we've got how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want, we can, do you want to split people up into 3s and 2s, or how do you want to do it?
We got a 3 and a 2.
Yeah, and then if you could put one of us in each, maybe. And then we're going to have strictly, I think, 3 minutes for this.
Okay, there you go. Well, you should have been invited to join the breakout room now. I'll go to room 2, you go to 1.
Yeah, sure. I'm confused. I don't know how to get to my room. Hello. Hi, I'm going to assign you to room 2, Priyanka, if that's okay. We're just doing a breakout room discussing what ideas you have for campaigns and what you want to get out of this session.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I can't enter my room, probably because I'm host or something.
If you go to breakout rooms, and if you click breakout rooms in the bottom, you can join one.
Sorry, where? So
at
breakout
the bottom, room. It will say breakout rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then the box should come up and you can click join.
I see room 1, room 2,
yeah,
unassigned. Oh, I've got join.
Yeah,
Found
so
it.
go to room 2 and I'll go to room 1, I'll go to room 2.
Okay. Let me just figure out how to close the rooms. Okay, I think I'm closing them now. Okay, is everyone back? I think so. Do we just quickly want to say one thing for each of the questions? So would someone be able to share one of the ideas they have for an upcoming campaign?
I think it was Avarice, but they had a really good idea for Merrimance.
So for our Valentine's Day, we're hoping to do a massive donor recruitment event. So it's Valentine's Day. Will you find your match? And basically, we'll have a competition between all our societies and try and get as many of those to sign up as possible. And then there'll be a prize for the society that has the high percentage of their group sign up, and a prize for the society who has the biggest number of sign-ups. So that's our idea.
That's brilliant. And what did anyone want to get out of this session? Oh, yeah, Josh.
Basically, what I'd like to get out is maybe a plan of how you would go about doing campaigns, and then maybe tips on how to have the most effective campaign possible, basically.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely try and focus that our presentation on that point. So yeah, hopefully you do find this useful. Also have time for questions and answers at the end as well. So if you if we didn't answer any of your questions, Krishna, yes? You're on mute.
Try and re-share your screen because there is nothing on there right now.
Oh gosh, okay.
It might just be my laptop.
Can anyone else not see? I think, okay, 1 second. Just resharing. Okay. Can you see that? Is this the wrong one?
It's just saying that you started screen sharing.
But can you not see it?
No.
So slightly annoying. Do you want to try?
Yeah, I can try. Oh, there we go. It's back.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe all of this is being recorded right now, but okay. Okay, so yeah. Josh made some brilliant points and had great ideas. Did anyone else want to share anything really quickly? Just pop it in the chat because we don't have long, but we'll try to address as many of the questions that you have about planning. I think my group said something about just how to go about fundraising in particular. So we'll try to address those in this presentation. Okay, so some general campaigns info. So this year, things are going to be difficult. As a committee, you can potentially create sub-teams and work together to plan ahead, to know what each person is doing. And we also think that it would be important to run a range of big and small events because of how up in the air things are going. Recently, it might be best to try and plan a mix of both. And running online events, we advise that you get other societies involved, advertise on social media, and get your student union to promote it on their social media. And also don't be disheartened if not many people turn up. Usually a lot of societies, when they're running online events, not a lot of people will turn up. And it's really good if you even have like 1 or 2 people, because that means that they're really engaged and they really want to be involved. So that's usually a good sign. Like it's better to have, 1 or 2 people who are really keen rather than lots of people turning up to in-person event and then just kind of never being involved in Mara again, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that's in terms of volunteer training, but yeah, don't be too disheartened, is my point. So as well as for online, try to use your student union, use their social media, and then use social media in general. We have great social media plans on 365, which kind of have a week of posts that you could just post on Instagram and Facebook for your campaign. We also encourage you guys to also get creative. People are stuck to their phones usually, so why not share a heartwarming patient appeal or a donor drive on TikTok? And also, we encourage that you share patient appeals during this time, as we'll have specific patient appeals for specific campaigns as well. So we also think that collaborations would be really useful online as well. So make sure you reach the exact audience that you want with your collaboration online. This will hopefully help to increase exposure to new audiences, lighten your workload, and enhance Maro fun. And also you could try thinking big. So does your society on your student union run a podcast or a radio show that you could feature on? And also try to get in the news, and we'll talk more about that later. So this is just to show off the range of societies and all the opportunities for collaboration. So there's the Wine Society, the Film Society, there's GameSoc. I know Surrey Maro did a anime collab, I think for Hero Week as well. So I think getting involved with all of these societies, depending on your campaign, would be an amazing idea, an amazing way to spread the word about Maro. And then obviously there's the cultural and faith societies as well that you could get involved with for Diversity Week. And I have mentioned the 365 resources. That's where you can get the social media plans. So just head to the SharePoint and then go to campaigns. And then within the campaigns, you've got a folder for each of the campaigns that are official for Maro. And then we also have a separate folder for fundraising. And in particular, we've got a Miles for Maro folder within the fundraising folder, and that's got all the resources you need for Miles for Maro. Okay, so on to the first campaign after refreshers for semester 2. So Maromance is obviously related to Valentine's Day. So it's on or around the 14th of February. I know the 14th of February is a Monday, which is horrible for couples who are working, but great for Maroers because we can potentially do a donor recruitment or a fundraising event on a Monday, which is great. So here on the right is a Facebook header, which you can also get from the 365, and it's got a cute slogan. I particularly love the Maromance slogans. They're great and really unique and funny. So some fundraising ideas. You've got selling roses, cards or sweets, a Valentine's bake sale, and a take me out event / speed dating event. So these are all of the campaign ideas that you could do for fundraising. For donor recruitment, you could potentially share your sign-up link to your Tinder bio, or make a joke about only swiping right if they're willing to hear you talk about Maro, or how easy it is to save lives. You could run collab events with the Gin Society, Wine Society or Film Society, for Palentines or Valentines / Galentines as well. And if you're running a fundraiser, such as delivering roses, make sure to include a card with your sign-up link and why it's so important to sign up to the stem cell register. And also another idea is challenging people to sign up their best friends, significant others or friends to the stem cell register. Okay, so on to Krishna for Diversity Week.
Okay, you've probably all heard this several times, but Diversity Week is a revamp of tackling inequalities that we will be launching next month. So it'll be from the 21st to the 27th of February. And the aim is to essentially diversify the register, and it gives us a chance to educate ourselves about how to talk about recruiting donors from a minority ethnic background. So it's a way to start off ways to diversify the register and then continue it on throughout the year. And it's a really good event to get involved in. We based it off of Hero Week because of the success that Hero Week had. So I would strongly recommend that you try and hold some events with Diversity Week. So that could be organising collabs with any Hindu societies, Sikh societies, or even Pride Society. Just any societies that you can, try and see if they'll let you go onto their events, do a little talk, and sign some people up. Can you go to the next slide, please? A couple of things with Diversity Week is you need to be careful how you talk about diversity. And I know we mentioned this a lot in the diversity and inequalities presentation, but it's really important that we talk about it properly as well. So be specific about ethnicity. If you don't know someone's ethnicity, ask them. Also, we don't like to use the terms BAME or ethnic minority anymore. We prefer to use minority, ethnic, and diversify the register. And there again will be a guide coming out about this later on if you want some help with it. And there is also a guide on the 365 about how to talk about ethnicity and race correctly. You can go on to the next slide, please. So collaborations are a really important part of Diversity Week, and it's how we can enhance donor recruitment. So for example, you can collab with cultural and ethnic societies, do joint events with ACS for Black History Month, or do donor recruitment drives at your Hindu society's Holi celebration, or information talks with your Sikh society. So some events we've had in the past are Cardiff Marrow have done a society sign-up challenge, Sheffield Marrow held a virtual Bollywood dance class, Plymouth Marrow used tackling inequality resources, shared tackling inequality resources that the SU had made. Collabs, as I said, are vital for so many reasons, but piggybacking on events can decrease the amount of planning you can do for a campaign. It can really speed up the process. You also get a much higher engagement as you get access to the new society's membership cohort, and if you collab with cultural and ethnic societies, you immediately reach your target audience. Finally, they can be really fun. Meeting new people and sharing what you love about Marrow and why it is so important to change the odds can be super motivating and rewarding. Next slide, please. So we've come up with a few examples, but again, you don't have to use them. There's just some examples you can use. So why not really highlight ethnic creatives on campus? Collab with societies to put on a poetry and open mic comedy night where creatives can present their writing and music and sketches virtually, or get multiple cultural societies together and do one cook along each evening of the week where students can share their culture through food. Highlight Black writers and authors at virtual book clubs with your literature society, or run specific Black history events with your history society or ACS. You can also share scientists who are from a minority ethnic background to your Instagrams and just highlight why they're so important to what Antonio and Amara do. Use this as an opportunity to invite speakers and host Q&As. So long as you share your link and purpose throughout the events, Marrowing can happen anywhere. And you can use this campaign to educate people in so many ways at the same time. Next page, please.
I'm just wanting to flag we have 4 minutes left.
Oh gosh. These are resources, but they will be updated in time for Diversity Week. We can skip the next slide because they're about collabs again. Okay, the new fundraising campaign that's being launched is called Raise a Swab. It was started by Warwick Marrow, and it's basically a way to fundraise individually so people can raise them. We'll fundraise £40 individually, which is the cost of adding someone to the register. And it means you can fundraise however you like, in whatever way you like. So if you don't like sports, you can fundraise by doing 1,000 paper origami cranes, or if you like running, you can run. And that's not starting on the week commencing the 7th of March. Yeah, I'm going to hand over to Zahn now to try and talk about March of the Men in 3 minutes.
I think we have a little bit longer just because we did start a little bit late, and I think other societies, other workshops will have started late too. Anyways, so now we're going to talk about March of the Men. So you may have known that March of the Men used to be a month. So this year we're trying something new. We're going to shorten it to just a week so that all Mara groups can go ham on focusing DR towards men. So this will be from the 21st to the 27th of March. So we're encouraging all groups to get involved in this. So why is it important? I'm sure you know by now that young men aged 16 to 30 currently account for just 18% of the register, but actually provide over 50% of all potentially life-saving transplants. So this means that young men actually provide better outcomes for patients as well. And therefore more men need to be on the stem cell register to save more lives. So there are many ways that you can get the word out to encourage more men to sign up. So when addressing a targeted audience, like men, you need to decide what tone to use. So for March of the Men, we try to suggest using bold and inspiring facts like the ones that I mentioned in the previous slide, and then also try and use competitions potentially, such as UEL Marrow, who did a life-saving leaderboard with all of their sports societies and tried to tally up how many people signed up to the stem cell register. However, you need to keep in mind that you need to be sensitive about the topic and try not to force anyone to sign up for the sake of being top on the leaderboard. So please do keep that in mind as well. And we also encourage using lots of memes because who doesn't love a good meme? Okay, so for Miles and Marrow is usually in April. This is usually when everyone's at home revising for their exams. So we try to keep this campaign simple and straightforward. So we suggest trying Strava challenges. Strava is an app that you can download on your phone, and it tracks you doing exercise, so you can either cycle, walk, or swim. So we encourage you to start a challenge, such as drawing an M on a map, which Mara volunteers will run on, and then also raise money for. Another one is take photos of street names with an M and plan routes to incorporate M for Marrow. Another one could be draw an animal beginning with M on the map. So more fundraising ideas include personalized messages to keep fundraising on people's minds. Another one is run 5, tag 5, which is tag 5 people and run 5 miles or 5 kilometers, which is probably easier, and then also donate £5. And you can do this with 3 kilometers, the number 3 as well. So those are just some ideas that you could potentially do, and this will hopefully keep your Mara groups active throughout April with hopefully the bare minimum amount of work as well. So we really like Miles for Marrow. So a little bit on press and political engagement to round off. I'll try and be really brief with this. So please don't underestimate the power of your local press. So you can contact your local radio, newspaper, or even just your student newspaper to share your successes. And if you need help with this, you could contact the press team, Ella Crumpton at anthonynolan.org, which I'll put in the chat after this presentation. You could also make a challenge out of it by doing a 24-hour radio marathon. And we also think patient appeals is also a good way to, is also good content to put in press releases as well. So you might want to think about doing that as well. What we suggest is giving clear context to the campaign before talking about your ask. You can do this by writing a letter to your MP and also tweeting it from your Mara account. But first, we suggest that you do a bit of background research on a politician and see if they if they tweet a lot and how active they are, because you could use this information to tailor your approach. And the most important thing is make sure that you give the MP actions to take. So whether this is just a tweet or an event that they can come to, or something that they could put in their newsletters, politicians like to take action in any way that they can to implement things. So if appropriate, you can also ask them to attend your events and things as well. So that was very brief, and I'm aware that we didn't answer most of the queries that you had. So I did want to address, in terms of fundraising and planning for that, my best suggestion, and I think Krishna as well, because Krishna, you're fundraising coordinator for Warwick, aren't you?
I would say with fundraising, a lot of small events work just as well as lots of big events, and they don't take as much planning. So doing something as simple as like, guess how many sweets are in a jar is a really good way to raise a good amount of money, and it's easy to plan. So if you don't have the capacity to organize large scale events, you can organize like smaller events that don't take as much effort. It's a really good place to start.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
scale up from there if you can.
Yeah, and definitely when you start planning, I think it would be great to first like approach your committee and kind of see like how many people would be able to like help you with the planning. And I think the first approach is to email your SU and email venues, I think, depending on what sort of fundraising event that you're doing, and try and get like your whole committee involved in helping you with fundraising as well, because I know it can get tough.
Like we were saying, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, continue.
I was gonna say, like we were saying earlier, subcommittees are a really good way to try and plan large scale events, because it means the workload isn't all on you. So if you're planning something like a calendar or a cookbook or like a take me out event or whatever, have a subcommittee, because then all of the pressure isn't just on you.
Yeah, and definitely make sure like another point with fundraising is that collabs are key, and a lot of the time, if you're unsure about where to start, asking other societies to collab with you. You know, they might have recommendations for catering or something else. So yeah, it honestly depends on what you're planning. But if you do have any questions, I'm sure Krishna would be perfect to answer them over Messenger or email.
And you can also speak to Anna, or your fundraising coordinator too.
Yeah, Anna as well. Yeah. Did that answer whoever's question it was? Sorry, was it Cordelia who had that question?
Yeah, thank you. I think that answers it really well, actually, because I've not really done any planning of events before, so new to it. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. And sorry if this was a bit rushed, but yeah, we're gonna let you go to your next workshop. So yeah, hope this was useful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Have you stopped the recording?
No.
Oh wait, I'm recording it.